This May 5, which took place in the year 1862, when Mexico was presided by Benito Juarez, was attacked by the French army that at that time was considered invincible since it had not lost any battle in more than 50 years. The history of the Battle of Puebla is undoubtedly an episode that Mexicans must know and admire, since we were victorious defending our nation against such a large army. In October 1861, France, England, and Spain signed the London Convention, in which they pledged to send military contingents to Mexico as it had a large debt of 80 million pesos, approximately 69 million to England, 9 million for the Spanish, and 2 million for France. The tripartite alliance threatened President Benito Juarez with an imminent invasion if the debt that Mexico had with the three European countries were not fully paid off.
Juarez responds with an exhortation to achieve a friendly settlement and inviting them to confirm. However, he knew that there was an imminent war and tried to protect Mexico City by moving supplies and ordered the revocation of Puebla. He created the Army of the East, and the man who was appointed to command was General Ignacio Zaragoza. Initially, the Tripartite Alliance accepted Benito Juarez's call for dialogue, and its representatives met with Manuel Doblado, who got Juan Prim to withdraw. This agreement is known as the Preliminary Treaty of Solitude. On March 5, a French military came to Veracruz and set off along with his troops towards Puebla, with the goal of conquering Mexico City.
It should be noted that the Conservative Party supports the French invasion and even formed part of the guerrillas that attacked the Army of the East on several occasions. Other Mexican generals also participated in the Puebla defense, as in the case of the Oaxaca troops led by Porfirio Diaz. The center of the line was defended by Francisco Lamadrid with the troops of the state of Mexico and San Luis Potosí. The left leaned on the hill of Coyametepec, located in the north of the city, and at the top were located the forts of Loreto and Guadalupe, with General Miguel Negrete at the head of the 2nd Infantry Division. On May 5th at 9:15 a.m., the French appear on the horizon, but it is not until 11:15 a.m. when the hostilities begin, announcing with a cannon shot from the fort of Guadalupe and accompanied by the ringing of the bells of the city. The Count of Lorenzes condemns a surprise maneuver that divided the French column into two and that results in 4,000 men marching to attack the forts of Loreto and Guadalupe. This decision could be the cause of the French defeat, since the Mexicans had the advantage in these positions. The 6th Battalion of the National Guard of the state of Puebla, under the command of Colonel Juan Nepomuceno Mendez at that time, was the first body of the Army of the East to face the French, as it stood on the line between the forts and rejected its attack.
Before May 5th, on April 28, 1862, a confrontation known as the Battle of the Sumis took place between the French Expeditionary Army and the Mexican Army. In this conflict, there were about 500 French casualties against only 50 Mexican casualties. Despite this, the French Expeditionary Army managed to gain control of the Acoltzingo Pass. After the Battle of the Sumis, in the Count of Lorenzes, he retained his confidence and told Napoleon III that we are so superior to Mexicans in organization, discipline, grace, morals, and refinement of sensibilities that I beg to announce to your Majesty Imperial, Napoleon III, who from this moment, and commanding our 6,000 brave soldiers, I already own Mexico. On May 2nd, the French Expeditionary Army departs from San Agustin de Palmar in Veracruz to cross for the Sierra Madre Oriental and head from Puebla, and it was a necessary step to reach the capital of the country.
French attacks were rejected by the resistance of the Mexican army, as in the case of the Zouaves, the elite regiment of the French infantry, who began a stealthy ascent to the fort of Guadalupe, but received abandonment and a retreat. Mexican Colonel José Rojo notified Antonio Alvarez that it was time for the Mexican cavalry to take action to achieve a complete victory. He ordered that the Pachuca Caribeños to load over the remains of the column, firing their carbines and throwing several commands on the French, being totally rejected. When the Mexicans began to glimpse their victory, Lawrence was preparing to launch the last round, directing the hounds of Venice and the Saubos regiment to Guadalupe. Zaragoza arranged for the reformed battalion of San Luis Potosí to come to the aid of the forts. After being repelled for the last time, the French expeditionary army forces began to flee, completely disappeared. He retreated to the Hacienda Los Alamos to finally retire to Amozo.